This episode is sponsored by Jane. Jane is a complete practice management software that makes it easy for you to book, chart, and get paid all online. Jane is an all-in-one software that's fun to use, but they also focus their attention on the challenges that come up for practitioners in day-to-day practice. One of those challenges we all know is the prevalence of no-shows and late cancellations. With the help of Jane's features, you'll be able to significantly reduce no-shows and late cancellations, but also avoid a loss in revenue when they do happen. Some of these features include online booking payment policy, a cancellation policy, unlimited SMS and email reminders, and waitlist management features. You, my friends, can learn more at jane.app.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Massage Business Blueprint podcast, where we discuss the business side of massage therapy. I'm Michael Reynolds.
I'm Alyssa Haynes.
And we're your hosts. Welcome today. We're glad you're here. You'll notice a little bit of Alyssa suggested we do the throwback intro because we have a very special episode today. Got an announcement for you.
Bring it.
I'll bring it. Let's bring it. So we are excited to tell you that we have sold our library of resources to our friends at ABMP.
Yay!
Yeah, so big changes here. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about this today, but it's been a wonderful 8 years of providing educational and marketing content, and we are super grateful to our sponsors and especially to you, our listeners. So, Alyssa, why don't you kind of segue into what's next?
Yeah. So I, Alyssa, will be continuing to write the Blueprint for Success column in Massage and Bodywork magazine. I am exploring some other projects with ABMP for the future. So if you stay subscribed to our podcast feed, and if you're on our email list and you stay subscribed to that, you will get all the news and updates on upcoming projects and collaborations with ABMP, which I'm really excited about because y'all know that I enjoy working with them and they treat their educators and collaborators very, very well. The next little thing here is that I will be maintaining the community as a peer mentor community group. It's going to transition into my, until now, mostly secret marketing company called Deep Breath Digital, where I make websites for massage and wellness businesses, and I also handle marketing for a few small businesses. I've been doing that on the sly for a while. You've heard little bits and pieces of that. But if you want to get on the list to be alerted when the community is accepting new members, you can go to deepbreathdigital.com/community. And I want to give you a heads up that all of this information is going to be on the homepage of massagebusinessblueprint.com for several more months, routing you to where you can find us. I will still be very available to my massage therapy colleagues. I'm excited about moving into a new phase. Michael, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, so before I move into that, I just want to share Alyssa's very humble about her expertise in websites and marketing, but she's real darn good at it. So, so definitely seek her out. So I'm glad you're sharing that with the world, Alyssa. A lot of people you'll be able to help with that.
Thank you.
So what am I doing? As it's no secret to our listeners that I'm also a financial advisor. I own a firm called Elevation Financial. I'm a certified financial planner, and I do business consulting as well through that firm. And that's where my focus is going to be going forward, continuing. So I will continue to grow that business. A lot of massage therapists and wellness practitioners are clients of mine as well, and I love working in that field as well. So yeah, feel free to find me there. I'm really easy to find, and my website is elevationfinancial.com. And even if you don't want to become a client, you can just reach out with questions or just to say hi. And I'm super easy to find. So that's what I will be doing going forward.
Yeah. And, I know we have a lot of our mastermind, our premium community members that listen to the podcast and sometimes listen to the weekly podcast before they go visit the community that day or week. So if you're a premium member and you're like, what? Just go into the community. We have yesterday, if you're listening to this on Friday, then yesterday we have made a big announcement in the community specifically for our premium members. So you'll learn more there. It's all going to be okay. And, so the other day, so I wanted to just take a little bit of a moment and vamp and talk about some big feelings that I the other day, as I was like kind of pulling resources together and doing some logistic stuff, I went to our Apple Podcast feed and I screenshot all of our podcast reviews. And there's like almost 50 or right around 50 of them. And I got a little bit teary, Michael. Like, just
Oh, me
it
too.
was it was the first time that I was like, "Oh," and, because even the bad reviews are awesome and they're fun. And there's one that was like trashed us but still gave us 3 stars, which is cool. And there's some other ones that are like they're all right, but they're not everybody's flavor, and that's cool. We learn something from all of them, even if all we learn is a little bit of humor. And then it feels like this week I feel like I've gotten an especially large amount of emails from colleagues, with different questions and ideas for podcasts, and I have to be like, okay.
That's fine.
Like, I had to find a secret way to say this isn't going to be a podcast episode, because we're done. So in case it was not clear, today is our last podcast episode. Um, so yeah, some big feelings. It's always a little bit sad to close a chapter, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the things we learned in a minute. But how you feeling, Michael?
Yeah. Also, emotional but happy. I think I've sold a business before many years ago, a few years ago, and so I've been through something like this once before. But it's emotional. It's when it's time, and you kind of know it, and looking forward to the future. But yeah, I mean, we've spent 8 years doing this, and it's become a part of our lives and our routine. And change is emotional. So yeah, you inspired me to look at our reviews also, and some really powerful feedback there, and like I said, some fun ones, even if they're negative. I'm hats off to you, JJ Smitty. I remember, we appreciate your review too. I think that was our 1-star review. So
Hmm.
yeah, so thanks to everyone who left us reviews, who has been a listener, who has been even a lurker, who's maybe never reached out but has listened to any of our episodes. We appreciate you, and we see you. Thank you.
Sweet. Michael, who's our next sponsor?
All right. Well, we definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors, even on this last episode. And I think I want to go out with one more big hohoba.
Oh, you nailed it.
I know.
So it's awesome because yesterday, I don't know, at some point, yesterday, I got an email from a listener that says, and I didn't get her permission to use her name, so I'm not going to use her name, but it was like the best email I've gotten in ages. It says, I should have just listened to you with 3 exclamation points. Now, there's nothing in the world I love more than somebody telling me I'm right. So it goes on to say, I ordered a bunch of small bottles of different lotions, gels, and oils to try different kinds, including jojoba. I was a bit hesitant on the cost, but now can see how it lasts a long time. Lots of O's and N's and G's there. I tried a bit on my arm tonight. I love it. I'm worried I won't want to bother with the others now. So, there's always like this scary risk when you like endorse something or you talk about something where like people won't like it or the company will go belly up, which has happened to us more than once. And um, there's always like a clench in my belly when I think about promoting any particular service or product. I have never, ever, ever had that clench in my belly with jojoba. I love that they are a sponsor. It is a product I have used for years. I knew the original owners. We have a wonderful relationship with the current, I don't know if it's president or CEO or both. So let me tell you why. The jojoba company is the only company in the world that carries 100% pure first press quality jojoba. It means they don't get quite as much juice out of the seed, but what they get is a higher quality. It doesn't go rancid. It doesn't contain triglycerides, so it's not going to go bad, which makes it a really good carrier for your expensive essential oils as well. It's non-allergenic, so you can use it on people who have gluten sensitivities or nut allergies or any of that stuff. It's not going to harm them. It's non-comedogenic, so it's not going to clog pores. It's not going to stain your cotton sheets. So yeah, they rinse clean. It saves you a ton of money. And like our friend said, she flinched a little bit originally at the price, but when you realize how far it goes and how long it lasts, it's way more cost effective than any other product I've ever used. You can get 20% off when you shop through our link, massagebusinessblueprint.com/jojoba. Thanks, jojoba.
Thanks, Ahoba. We appreciate everything. All right, so we're going to talk about what we've learned in 8 years of running Massage Business Blueprint. So this will be fun. What
Yeah.
are thoughts? Do you want to kind of go back and forth? Do you want to go first? How do you want to do this?
Um, you have more than me, so, let me just pound through mine, and then you can go through yours.
Okay.
So because I know I'm gonna think of more things that I'll add after you're done talking. So yeah, for us, this is 8 years of running Massage Business Blueprint together. For 4 to 5 years prior to that, I had started the first iteration of this called Writing a Blue Streak, and, just a lot of commentary and thoughts on massage and massage business and marketing and related. I wrote a little bit about ethics. I never officially taught ethics. Did a little bit of traveling, did a little bit of teaching. And 8 years ago, Michael said, "Do you finally want to turn this into something that can actually make you real money?" And I said, "Yes." And we did this. So this has been a long time coming. And let me just fly through here. I learned some stuff. I learned particularly that once you have a platform, once you have a way of speaking to the world and some people are listening, a lot of people are going to want a piece of you. And I have found that really difficult to handle. Specifically, like people, casual acquaintances are going to email you and say, "Hey, do you want a podcast guest to talk about my new book?" Or, "Hey, do you want to come teach at my thing?" With them thinking I'm going to bring like a large audience to the event with them. I have had a lot of offers to teach for online things for free, which I've turned down and frankly gotten a lot of crap about. Um, I have done some for free, and some have been rewarding, and some have been bad and made me never want to do that again. And people who I've never met before, who've heard of me in one way or another or whatever, will just email me asking me to help promote them without there ever being a relationship. And like, I'm a big fan of asking for help. And I'm a big fan of even asking for help from people you don't know. But the way that it happens when you have a platform is very, very weird and yucky. So that part has been weird. And I learned that. And I had to learn how to kind of shake off the ucky feelings. I will say that one of the things I have loved the most is colleagues, actual massage therapists who email me and say, "I have this weird situation going on with a client. I have this weird situation going on with my business. I've tried this, this, and this, and it's not working. What would you suggest now?" I love those emails, and you should all keep sending them to me. So I love them, and I'll be getting the Massage Business Blueprint emails for quite a while, and it'll transition over to another email address. I promise it will never be hard to find me. You can Google my name, you'll find me. Um, so that's one thing that's been weird. When you have a platform, people want a piece of you, and I hate that part. And people will reach out to you with questions and thoughts and share things, and that part I love. Okay. Also, when you write or when you speak to the world, someone will always misinterpret what you say and what you write, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Someone will disagree with you, and that part is not so hard to swallow. People disagree with you and argue with you, and that's cool. And they're just feeling like won't like you. And sometimes people will just completely misinterpret what you say and write. They will take my words and then expand upon that in a way that was never what I thought or wrote, and you will be misinterpreted and misunderstood. And sometimes they'll repeat that to other people, and you cannot control that. You can't do anything about it. You can't stop it. You can't control it. You have to take a deep breath and understand that the people who uh, are a good fit for you and your style and your friendship and your advice and your whatever are going to find you and understand. Um, the people who really do get you make that misinterpretation stuff not matter quite so much. So it's definitely a bit of a scale going back and forth. Okay. Having a voice also means that you have a responsibility to the listener. You're responsible for the truthfulness or not, for the helpfulness or not of what you say on a podcast or in a column or in a blog post. You can't just be like, "Oh, I'm just Joe Bag of Donuts thinking out loud." You can't be, you can't do that. The responsibility for putting out helpful and truthful information, that extends to pushing back if a guest says something absurd. And I don't know that I've always done that well, but it's something that I've learned. And it extends to you. You can't just think out loud and misdirect or misinform people and then fall back on, "Oh, I was just talking. I'm just a regular old schmo." I'm not just a regular little schmo.
I'm just laughing at 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗸𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
like, "Do you have a six-pack?" He's like, "I don't drink." He's like, "Joe bag of donuts." So,
I love that so hard.
I do too. You know, when you decide you're going to speak to people about your profession, about your job, about your business practices, about your ethics, you stop being someone who can casually speak. You have to take responsibility for your words because you're going to be wrong sometimes. And I have been wrong sometimes. And I have, this was a lesson I learned the hard way when a lot of people push back about some really spectacularly terrible stuff that I put out into the world early on in this. And I'm really grateful for the people who called me out on that, even if I didn't see so at the time. Okay, now finally, this is like what I've learned about the broader massage community in general is people who stick to their guns do well. Business owners, massage therapists, body workers, they do well and their businesses do well when they know what they want and they know what they need and they stick to it. So some examples, people who have really good scheduling boundaries. So they don't come in last minute for a new client whose back is spasming. They might on occasion for an old client, but they'll never feel resentful about it because they have such good boundaries. It's a rare and probably well rewarded experience. People who have good boundaries around their prices, around discounting, around working on friends and family. People who have uh, a good and firm idea of knowing they want to make money from this. And people nowadays who are extremely COVID conscious and have chosen to put very particular protocols in place, even if that means being rejected by a lot of clients, being left and having to acquire new clients who share that COVID sensibility, people who stick to their guns do well. And that doesn't mean being obstinate. It doesn't mean being inflexible to change or evolving. It means knowing what your core, I don't want to say values, but like the core aspects that are really important to you in your business and how you run your business and how you deal with your clients. When you know that and you are confident in that, you and your business will probably do well. And if you don't do well, it's because you are just dramatically mismatched for your area or something like that. But more often than not, people who know what they want and need from their business and stick to that do very, very well. I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you. Really
Thanks.
great to hear all those things. And I have more stuff, but I'll go quick. Um, so things I've learned in running this business with Alyssa. So one is the most important thing is you can run a wonderful and fulfilling business with a partner. I was anti-partner for a long time. I always thought, hey, partnerships don't work and you've got to run your business on your own and be the sole owner. And that's the only way it's ever going to work. And I was pretty convinced. And, I took a leap of faith, and we launched this thing together and it's been amazing. And it has completely changed my view of running businesses with a partner. Obviously, you've got to both find the right partner and especially be the right partner. And neither one of us are perfect at this, but I'm hoping that Alyssa agrees that I think we've had a wonderful time running a fulfilling business and has gotten a lot of enjoyment from it and made an impact and feel good about the work we've done. So, thank you for teaching me that this can be a great thing with the right partner and being the right partner. So,
Wait, was this the first partnership or did you started some other ones previously, right?
I think technically, yeah, this is the first. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have,
You're
Alyssa's alluding to the fact that I have two other businesses besides Elevation Financial that have partners as well, but they came after.
all right.
So,
Well, you're welcome to all of them, Amy and Sam and the other guy whose name I can never remember, but he's
Chris,
wonderful. Chris, yeah. And you're welcome to all of them.
absolutely.
Okay, carry on.
Next, not everyone's going to like you. Alyssa already alluded to this or mentioned this already. So, it kind of taught me to not worry about so much. If you're doing good work, you can't please everybody. Now, if 90% of people that you interact with, give you negative feedback, you might be doing something wrong. But, no matter what you do, you're always going to have a small group of people that come along and bash what you do and criticize what you do. And that's just something you have to live with if you're doing good work in your business. And I've come to terms with that. Next, making money is both important and not important. Um, Making money is important. when you're running a business, you don't want it to be a hobby unless you want it to be a hobby. And so you've got to pay attention to the numbers. You've got to pay attention to the money you're making and make sure that you evaluate if it's worth it to you. It's also not important because it's not everything. Again, looking back on these 8 years, could we have made more money? Yes. We could have done things differently along the way in different ways that maybe we weren't willing to compromise on, and we could have made more money. But I'm very much at peace and completely happy with the fact that we got enjoyment from the business, which is worth more than the dollars. Next, people need to solve problems in their own time. You can't care more about their success than they do.
Preach, 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 preach.
I have a I have a tendency that I continue to work on, and my tendency is that I sometimes care a lot about people's success so much that I let it consume me, and I get too involved, and I become emotionally attached to people's success and their own, steps they're taking in their business. And you can't do that. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for them. So I hope, gotten better at becoming mindful and comfortable with the fact that you're going to give people advice, you're going to answer questions, you're going to help them, and they're going to do with that what they're going to do with it. And you have to detach from the outcome because you've done what you can do, and you have to let people make their own decisions and work at their own pace.
And I'm gonna jump in to say that tendency to care very much about other people's success, one, it's part of what makes you a really, really good financial advisor, and that I do think you clearly do a really good job of, like, saying, "Okay, I can't work harder than this person is working," but the way that you care really, I think, helps you customize and cater your guidance to any particular person because you're great at meeting people where they at and wanting them to succeed very much. And so yeah, I mean we can't take it all personally or do more work than someone else is willing to do for their own success, but it's part of what makes you really good at what you do. And you know this because you are the financial advisor for people that I know and love, and we both care so much that it's really, yeah, I didn't think anybody else could care uh, as much as I do about that, and you do, and that's what makes you really good at what you do.
Thank
Okay, I'm
you.
done.
Yep. Next, it's okay to evolve and change what you do. There was a time back in the day when I could not fathom not doing what I was doing or not running the business I was running at the time. And it was a big leap of faith and a change to, sell my first business back in the day and to start new ones and to evolve them. And now this. And, it's okay. Like, I've embraced change. Like, change is not bad. Some things in life I think can be permanent, and some things don't have to be permanent. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that if certain things change in your life or in your business, it doesn't mean that it's true for everything. So your business can evolve, other things in your life can evolve, and that's okay. It can complement the things that are permanent and are more long lasting, and they can be part of the rich tapestry of your journey. Ooh, that sounded philosophical. Okay. Next, don't be afraid to outsource and delegate. As business owners, I think a lot of us, the two of us included, are very comfortable with control. We really want to be in control. We really want to kind of have the tendency to do everything ourselves. But one thing that I've gotten better at along this journey, I think, is being comfortable delegating. And I want to take this moment to give a shout out to Rianne, who is our virtual assistant slash marketing assistant, who has been doing work in our business for years now, and she's awesome. And a lot of the the productivity we've had in our business and things we've gotten done, Rihanna has been a big part of it. She edits our podcast every week. She does our email newsletter. She does other stuff behind the scenes, social media images, all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. So I want to give a big thank you and a shout out to Rianne as well. And if anyone else wants to hire Rianne, she's at boldlucidity.com. So definitely reach out to her. So thank you, Rianne, for helping us with everything.
And I just want to pop in and say thank you to Catherine, thank you to Sarah, because those are people who wrote some of our blog posts that we'd given our mastermind members to use on their own websites. And whenever I was stuck and I didn't feel masterful enough to cover a topic, one of them did it and did it well. And we had a few other writers back in the day as well, but thank you. Thanks. And I just put Rianne's website in our notes as well. So we'll make
Great.
sure that's all up on the website as well.
Awesome. Next, ideas are plentiful. It's the execution that matters. we've been both good and not so good at this along the way. Everyone has good ideas. I shouldn't say everyone, but it's easy to have a good idea, right? But very few people actually execute on the idea and implement it. So keep in mind, ideas are one thing, but don't forget that the most important part is actually getting it done and executing the idea. Also, running a business because you want to have fun is a perfectly reasonable goal. We did it for a while, and we're making a change. But making money is fine, but it's also good to just enjoy your business, and that's okay. And then I want to end with this: you're making more of an impact than you think. No matter what you're doing, you're making an impact. You're working, maybe you're working with clients on the massage table. Maybe they don't tell you often enough what kind of impact you're making in their lives, but you're making an impact. Maybe you're running other types of businesses. Maybe you're doing something like we're doing. Maybe you're going to do something down the road that is different. Whatever it is, if you are serving clients, if you're serving your target audience, if you're providing value to people, if you're helping people, you probably don't feel like you're making much of a difference, but I guarantee you are. We know of the people that email us and write to us and send us messages and give us reviews. We know about those people. But those are a fraction of the people that, maybe listen to every episode. Maybe they're in our community and get lots of value from it. And for whatever reason, they don't necessarily reach out. They just don't feel comfortable doing that, or for whatever reason. I know we made a difference in their lives anyway. And I am so grateful for that. And that means a lot to me, to Alyssa. And I hope you, whoever's listening to this, understands the impact you're making, even if you don't get immediate or ever get feedback about that impact. You're making an impact.
Truth, man.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned. We've learned a bunch more stuff too, but that's what we can cover today in this a very special episode of Blossom. Now,
I'm a little teary-eyed again. Oh my
um,
goodness.
all right, final sponsor, my friend.
All right. Well, we thought it would be appropriate to leave our last sponsor of our podcast to be ABMP, because that is who is taking over the bulk of our resources. And so, Alyssa, do you want to kind of share a little bit about ABMP and what we can expect from them going forward as it relates to our resources?
Yeah. So, ABMP, we know that I love them. We know that I've collaborated with them for a long time. They have been nothing but supportive of me and the things I have to say, even when they disagreed with me. They have always said, don't muzzle yourself, don't censor yourself. And that was actually a big conversation we had when they came on as a sponsor years back. Was, I'm going to say the things and I'm not going to not say the things because you're a sponsor. And they were like, we want to be your sponsor because you say the things. And they have never muzzled or censored me. And for that, I am extremely grateful. They say they're proud to sponsor us, and I think we believe them.
I still believe them.
There's a whole bunch of stuff you get with ABMP membership. It's not just your cheesy, I'm going to get liability insurance organization, although they do have wonderful liability insurance. It is truly, it is the largest aggregate. You can learn all about liability insurance, and you would know what that means, and the largest individual aggregate in the business. And it's great coverage. They have a rider you can buy for your business property, your business personal property. So like, if something happens and whatever landlord's insurance doesn't cover this, that, or the other thing, the ABMP insurance is going to cover it, and I'm going to be able to buy new sheets. So that's awesome. Let's talk about their primary features that we have been talking about for quite a while. They have apps, 5-Minute Muscle app and Pocket Pathology app that I can't say. Quick reference apps designed to help you find the information you need super fast to make a decision about session planning, and also just to study and learn outside of your sessions. They have Massage and Bodywork magazine, which we have been privileged to have a column in for, I don't know, a bunch of years now, that everyone, the entire world, can read at massageandbodyworkdigital.com. They have an education center with well over 600 hours of CE courses included with your membership, also available at a ridiculously affordable price for non-members. All kinds of topics: hands-on ethics, self-care, business, cultural competency, courses for massage educators, all kinds of stuff like that. We're not exactly certain what they're going to be doing with the massive library of our tutorials and ebooks and resources and podcast archive. But, stay tuned. Make sure you're on that ABMP email list, which you can get to from their website. And you will see how they use these things. You will see how members benefit from the resources that are moving on over to ABMP. So yeah, you can learn more at abmp.com.
Thanks, ABMP.
Yeah.
All right. As
Thanks.
always, we're going to wrap up with quick tips.
Yeah. So I have two. Speak up. If you think something, if you're concerned about something, if you even feel lonely about something that you think or feel, speak up, if only so that other people who feel the same way will identify and maybe be inspired to speak. And the last one here is know when to walk away. And if I say that and you don't immediately picture the Kenny Rogers episode of The Muppets where he sings The Gambler on a train with the Muppets, well, I mean, I don't even know who you are. You should Google that because it's fantastic.
Pop in my
But
head instantly.
right, know when to walk away. I'm done. I'm out.
Okay.
Peace
Also,
out.
thank the people who support you clearly and often.
Mhm.
And with that, again, just a reminder, we put Rianne's website here in the show notes, and that's at boldlucidity.com. She helps other folks in the wellness and massage profession. And then just a reminder where to find us. By the way, Alyssa and I are, in addition to being, very close friends, we also are still doing business together in various ways. So if you find one of us, you can find both of us pretty easily. We keep feel free to keep in touch with either or both of us, and you can find us on the web. My website is elevationfinancial.com, and Alyssa can be found at deepbreathdigital.com, and likely also involved with ABMP projects as well. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else on your mind before we wrap this thing up?
No, just a big old virtual hug and a big old thank you for everybody. You've made this a very fun 13 plus years.
Absolutely. I will second that. All right. Well, with that, like I said, you know where to find us. Keep in touch. We appreciate everyone who's been with us on this journey through these 8 years. Excited to be moving forward with some new stuff in the future. So thanks for joining us today. Have a great day and keep in touch. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.